potty training, day 2. We have decided to put, it's an E. There's the letter E, yes. We have decided to put the big boy pants on him today because he seems to have generally gotten the idea, and he, with one major exception this morning, he has stayed dry for the entire first half of the day and has gone pee on the potty the rest of the time. Now the major exception was that we had a little poo accident on the floor. But that's the whole reason that we put these boxes and the baby gates up, was just in case that happened. You know, it's only day 2 and we're expecting that might be a possibility. So we gave him a bath and we talked about how poo-poo goes in the potty, didn't we, buddy? We talked about how poo-poo goes in the potty, and so next time we're gonna try going poo-poo in the potty, huh? Yeah, buddy. So we decided we wanted to have the big boy pants on today just because it contains things a little bit better when he does have accidents, but it's still, he can still feel it and it's still uncomfortable for him, and it still makes a little bit of a mess, which is what we want, because that's the whole point of the 3-day potty training, is that it's immersion and it's uncomfortable for them. So anyway, so far so good. We're just learning how to pull the pants up and down now that he's got the general idea. Bye-bye. So it's just about nap time, and I think what we're going to try today is just keeping him in his underwear and maybe just putting a diaper cover over his underwear, because those...
I'm scared in the door.
Well, then come out, silly. So we the diaper covers we know contain things really, really well. So we might just put it over the underwear, even though it's not as absorbent. We still want him to be uncomfortable if he, you know, wets during nap time, but hopefully it will contain it enough to keep it out of his bed. All right, it's after nap time, and we had him in his training pants with a diaper cover over them. The diaper cover did contain it. It was, yeah, you're swimming, buddy. The diaper cover did contain it, but then we just had to take off some sopping wet training pants. So we're not sure if he's quite ready for nap time yet. We might have to wait on that one. And then we always give him milk after nap time, and I think, made the mistake of not being quite present enough with him after he had his milk, and so we had like what, 2-3 accidents in a row. Yeah, it was 2 accidents in a row, but they were bigger accidents, but he had just had a full sippy full of milk. So we've learned, we're learning as we go here, that especially after he has a drink, that he needs to go to the potty like every 5 or 10 minutes for what, a half an hour, we're gonna say. And then we're gonna start setting a timer so that he can go every, what, 20 or 30 minutes.
Every 15.
Yeah, or every 15 to 20 minutes. We actually are setting a timer.
It's okay, but
just because it's hard for us to be, you know, fully on and present all the time. That will help remind everyone to take him to the potty. Until he understands the concept of feeling the urge and going by himself, because he doesn't quite get that yet. So, but now we're out in the pool again, and we are taking a break every 15 minutes to go to the potty. So, and he's okay with that. So we'll see how it goes. All right, recap on day 2. Alex is definitely doing a little bit better than yesterday. I mean, we did have our little poop accident this morning and a couple of other pee accidents, but he's definitely got the idea now, and he knows what he's supposed to do, and he's not fighting it. So that was like my biggest fear, was that he would just completely be fighting it and we just would have to give up. So I'm really thankful that that hasn't happened. He's been going along with it, and bribing with the raisins has been effective. And we tell him, you know, a real big treat for him is Lara bars in our house. And so those are like, you know, the 3 ingredient bars that are made out of dates and nuts and whatever the other flavor is. And we tell him that if he goes poo, then he gets a Lara bar. So that still hasn't happened yet, so we'll see what happens on day 3. I've done some reading on this whole 3-day potty training method, and I've heard that with some kids, like, it happens just like that in one day, and I've heard with other kids it can take like closer to a week. And for other people, it's just like a good start to potty training in general, that, you know, the kids don't completely get it after a week, but they're on like a good start. And so I'm hoping that at least we'll get that out of it, that at least it will be a good start for potty training for us. So we'll see. We're just on day 2, so we'll see how it goes on day 3 tomorrow and for the rest of the week. I've decided that I'm just going to cancel all of my plans for the rest of the week just so we can be home and just have that, you know, contained wood floor where he is, you know, contained. If there are any accidents, it's not a big deal. So I'm thinking that we're going to need that extra time at home. My mother-in-law is going to be coming 2 days this week to help, which is great. I definitely don't think that I could do this if it was just me here by myself, because I have my 4-month-old to take care of, little Sophie, and so this method definitely wouldn't work if I didn't have backup. And so we definitely need somebody to be, you know, able to watch the baby at the same time while getting Alex to the potty, or, you know, vice versa, somebody else getting him to the potty while I'm with her. So I'm thankful that my mother-in-law is coming to help, and my mom is coming on Wednesdays. So we'll have 3 days of help, and so I'm really thankful that we have that available, and that hopefully we can see this through at least for almost a week. So I'm definitely thankful that we have such supportive family. That is a true blessing in this whole process. So the only thing I was going to mention is that, like, I didn't realize that I would have such a, like, emotional reaction to this whole process. Like, I don't know if emotional is the right word, but last night I had like the worst insomnia that I have had since I was pregnant, like when I had pregnancy insomnia. And it just seemed like it was out of nowhere. Like I couldn't fall asleep until 4 in the morning. It was really bad. And I think it was just having to do with this whole potty training thing and like just jumping in head on. I feel like it's entirely my responsibility, and I'm putting this pressure on myself. Like I feel like we need to get him potty trained, and, you know, we need to, you know, make it happen. Just like I feel like all of this pressure to succeed that I'm putting on myself, and I know it's not that big of a deal. Like if it doesn't work, like it's not that big of a deal. We just keep trying and moving on, you know. And I know that in my head, but there's just like this like subconscious thing going on, and my head was just reeling about it last night. Like, oh, what are we gonna do if we can't get him to poo on the potty? And like, what are we, you know, I need to read up on how to do this, how to do that. Like, how do we troubleshoot? And like, what are we gonna do when, you know, after this week is up and he still doesn't have it down? Are we gonna go back to diapers? Are we, you know, are we just going to, you know, risk it when we go out in public? And like, how horrible will that be if he has an accident in public? You know, just like all of these things going through my head. And like, that was one thing that I did not foresee with this whole potty training thing. And so that's been an interesting little side effect on mom's side of things. But since today things went pretty well, all things considered, like hopefully I will be able to sleep better tonight. And hopefully this won't be like a lasting thing. So that's how things are going on day 2, and I will keep you posted for day 3 as well. See you guys tomorrow. So recap of day 3 of 3-day potty training. So this morning, I was on my own with both kiddos for about an hour or so, and it was a little bit stressful because I was expecting him to go number 2 right around the time it was time to put Sophie down for her first nap, and then he ended up not pooping this morning anyway. So, and then he ended up just waiting until nap time when he had his diaper to poo. So that I think has been the biggest challenge, is just that he may get into a rhythm of just waiting until nap time to do his poos in his diaper. So I don't know, if you guys have done 3-day potty training before, like tell me how you deal with that one. I'm not quite sure what to do if he's going to save it for nap time. You know, we've been bribing him with his favorite treat, and I think he gets the idea, but he still doesn't want to go number 2. However, that aside, I would say today was a great success. Almost all of his number 1s made it into the potty today. Was so proud. Now, it still takes a lot of us prompting. He's not necessarily remembering to go on his own yet at this point. He did once or twice on his own initiative go in there, and that was great. You know, I think we're still going to have to do a bit more repetition for him to figure out, you know, how to stop his activity and get up and go potty. But when we do prompt him, he does it. And he did almost all of his pee in the potty today, so we're so proud. Even when he was just with my mother-in-law and I was tending to Sophie this afternoon, he like started to pee on the floor and then she said, no, let's go do it on the potty. And he held it and went and did the rest on the potty. So I feel like I am satisfied with where we're at. Like he does get it. He knows how to do it and he's doing it. So I'm happy with that. And I read about this 3-day method again, and they were saying that basically you have to look at the 3-day method as like a kickstart to, you know, a couple of months of potty training. And it will happen, you know, completely after a couple of months. But, you know, the 3 days is really just getting them to understand the whole concept of it and, you know, getting them able to do it. And I feel like we achieved that, at least with the number 1. So for the rest of the week, I think we're just going to keep on doing what we're doing. I feel like I'm relaxing a little bit more about it, which is good. I slept better last night, so that's a good thing.